Straight into the roll for bib 62, Georgia Lindemann, here at the ICF 2026 Penrith Open. You are watching the kayak cross individual time trial to seed the athletes for the knockout phase. They go into brackets. And Georgia going well as the second boat gets underway, and that is Finn Stevenson for Australia, both athletes on course in the under 18 category. Good roll from Finn as Georgia gets away from the last up and through to the finish. Third starter, Madeline Blacklock. Good protective helmet, wearing bib 60. As bib 61, Finn Stevenson moves through to the finish. We'll bring you times shortly. Getting up from the roll is Madeline Blacklock. And next to go, Amelia Watson. Lining up next to Lara Wiley, Lucy Casserly, local athletes from the Western Sydney Whitewater Club. .80.60 for Finn Stevenson. She's the current leader. And in second, Georgia Lindemann, 87.02. Georgia got tangled up in that right-hand upstream. Over at the roll is number 59. That is Amelia Watson. And straight off the drop, it is Lara Wiley. So great to see this local crew, the Sleigh Squad. Next to finish will be Amelia Watson. Finn Stevenson leads, Madeline Blacklock in second, just a few tenths behind. Bib 57 on course, Lucy Casserly. Amelia Watson goes into third position, 85.22. So this tight move after the first bridge. Athletes making sure, these early starters, just to make sure they get to the right of the first and the left of the second of those two downs. Number 56 on course, that's Stella Davies. And then we go international with Maria Sokolova from AIN, Independent Athlete Nation. Lara Wiley into second position behind the current leader Finn Stevenson, 80.69, just 0.09 of a second behind. Lara Wiley second with 80.69, Madeline Blacklock in third. So a bit of work going on at the top with Stella Davis going back to make sure she gets the right side of the gate. Oh, and catching herself around there was a Maria Sokolova letting go of the paddle. That's interesting and can be fraught with danger. Lucy Casserly, 82.84 in fourth position. And next to finish will be Stella Davies. as number 54 gets underway. That is Abigail Watson for Australia. 87.74 for Stella Davies. 87.74. So the second boat off, Finn Stevenson, still the leader after 7 finishes. Good roll from number 54, Abigail Watson. So Stella Davis into 7th, 87.74. Well, I'm wondering whether Sokolova was given a fault. 71.16 was her time, but she's ranked in 8th at the moment. So getting tangled up around an upstream, letting go of her paddle, holding on to the gate. Number 53 sends the pole swinging. Isabella Florison out of the first upstream turn as bib 53. That's Sophia Alpha from Great Britain getting tangled up, but she's had a good run up to that point. On course, Olivia Long for the USA. A Long family well embedded in kite cross. That's it, 51 is Isabella Florison, taking a wide exit from the last upstream gate through to the finish. Still Finn Stevenson, 80.6 ahead of Lara Wiley, 80.69. Madeline Blacklock in 3rd, and waiting for the time of Isabella Florison, 79.41 it looks like. And if that's the case, that will be enough to put her into the lead. Bib 49, Minazova of AIN. And she's followed by Carden Oting of the USA. So a few Americans on the course today and more to come. And these times now are about to tumble. As we get towards halfway. Aki Yazawa of Japan on the course. .60 for Sophia Alpha. Florison 79.41, 81.82 for Olivia Long, and 67.19 for Minazova. Freya Bucock from Tasmania around the first turn, gets away safely. Synchro paddling at the second turn. It's number 47, Yazawa of Japan. .67.12 for Oting of the USA. So some faster times. Minnesota 67.19, 67.12 from Oting. Adamaki, number 44, top of the course, just under the bridge, and 43, Sarah Crosby. Out of the first turn, conventional turn, Maki going towards the second. Yazawa 72.88 into the lead. Freya Bucock 73.33. Finn Stevenson in third, 80.6. So 72.88. Carden Oting, USA, 67.12 is the leader. So the time's tumbling down, waiting for Minnesota. Minnesota looks like she's ranked lower. .42 on course at the top. That's Amalie Hilgertova. Hilgertova at the bottom turn. Crosby 71.41. Ada Mackey 69.6. Olivia Long 81.82. Good fast start from number 40. That's Georgia O'Callaghan. Gets away from the first turn as number 41 ahead of her, Ria Shrubar. Shrubar of the USA. Comes through the finish. So 67.12, Carden Oting, USA, still leading ahead of Minnesota, AIN 67.19. In third, Yazawa 72.88. So scores being checked just to make sure the correct navigation has been observed. Some fast starts up the top. Zuzana Pankova, what a race she's been having in canoe and then kayak, making both podiums. Cody Davidson into the final turn. So 3 boats on the course. After Pankova, it's Marcella Altman. And then 6 more boats after Altman. Hocheva, Bekova, Neblova, Svolinska, Fox, and Woods. Pankova away through to the finish. Hilgertova, 63.79. Well out in front now. 3 seconds ahead. So Hilgertova, the leader, 63.79 ahead of Oting of the USA, 67.12. Minnesota in third, 67.19. Pankova 63.22, waiting to see her score checked. So currently 63.79. Do we get a late starter out of that? 36 on course. That's Evelina Hocheva. 35 is Bekova. Hocheva Second thoughts at the top, going back up, 35, getting away, that's Bekova. Altman, 69.41, is in fifth. Ada Mackie, sixth, Australia. First of the Australians, 69.6 ahead of Sarah Crosby, 71.41. On course 34, Neblova, strong kayak cross athlete from Czechia. Good last turn from Bekova. Also experienced kayak cross competitor. And off the ramp comes Klaudia Zwolinska. Number 33, so two boats to follow Zwolinska, Naomi Fox and Kimberly Woods, and that will close out the women's individual. 34 is Neblova, fast finish, good last turn, going into the roll. Number 33, Klaudia Zwolinska. Off the ramp is Naomi Fox, number 32. So Fox chasing down Zwolinska, who's done that double down under the bridge nicely. Fox away from the first turn, Zwolinska on the second turn. Pankova 63.22, the leader, ahead of Hilgertova 63.79. And Kimberly Woods now the last competitor on the course in this women's individual time trial. She's coming to the first up as Fox negotiates the final upstream turn and gets away quickly through to the finish. Woods away well too. So current leader Pankova 63.22. Katrina Bekova in second 63.25. Fox has crossed the line waiting for her time as Woods works across. Naomi Fox, 62.53. Neblova, 61.93. So current leader, 61.93. Teresa Neblova in second at the moment, provisionally. Naomi Fox, 62.53. In third, Klaudia Zwolinska, 62.98. In fourth, Susanna Pankova, 63.22, but Woods still to finish, 63.12 for Kimberly Woods. That'll be fourth. So they're packed in at the top, as you'd expect. Tight racing. Neblova, Fox, Zwolinska, Woods, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pankova, Bekova, Hilgertova, Oetting, Minazova, Schreiber. That's the top 10. And other Australians, Ada Mackie in 12th, Cody Davis in 13, Sarah Crosby 14, George O'Callaghan 15. So 61.93, fastest time, 0.6 of a second ahead of Naomi Fox. So Teresa Neblova takes out the women's individual time trial and will be seeded first into the knockout round. I have no idea what you like. I'm just going left, right, start list. The hard thing is, what I need is an on-screen graphic which has got the number and the name. We should be able to do that because they're sitting at the start. You can't see their number. You can't see their face. They come down. It's gloomy. It's grey. They're sort of hunched up in their boats. You still can't see their number. Well, straight into the men's individual time trial. Jai Deeves gets the racing underway for the men. 47 starters. 32 go through to the knockout round, so definitely something to race for here. 107 Jai Deeves in the under 18s. Simon Watson to follow. Louis Quek, Roland Hemmer, Ari Davey, Kai Stafford. They are preparing. About a minute of effort. 2 upstream turns, an Eskimo roll, and a bit of work to do just after the bridge to get across from the right side to the left side, making sure you get on the right side of the law or the gate. So Jai Deeves the first off, then Simon Watson. Just looking at the age categories here, we go from junior to veteran. These ICF ranking races are open, so that's a good thing. Inclusivity these days. And away they go. You can, that's a big drop off there for Louis. Louis Quek went straight down. It's a long way to the bottom, but he was headed there, number 105. So 3 boats on course, waiting for the first finisher. Great to see how the technique and the skill has evolved over a couple of years around these turns. None of this old school round the back. You got to check your speed, whip the pole around your head, and on you go. So 79.62, Simon Watson. And Jai still making his way down, getting his money's worth. So yes, we will lose 15 boats through this process and seed the others into the knockout brackets. And it's a good time to just go through the sharp end of the field. Finn Butcher, the Olympic champion, will be last to start. He's seeded number 2 on the ICF rankings globally, so we got one of the best here for sure. Matthias Novak of Czechia, he's ranked number 8. Jakub Krejci, he's ranked number 10. Zigalin Hosheva, ranked 15 in the world. And Tim Anderson, ranked 24th. He's the highest ranked Australian at the moment, ahead of Lucien Delfour, Ben Pope, Merle Long, Martin Rudolfer from the Czechs. So the Czechs lining up their experts, specialists. Dominic Curtin for Australia, he's amongst the final 10 starters too. So, and there are plenty others. New Zealand, Czech, Slovenia, Australia, Canada, USA, Japan, Germany, and the independent athlete nation, all represented in this men's kayak cross individual. So Louis Quek, 77.84. Quek is quickest so far, ahead of Watson, 79.62. Waiting for Kai Stafford, and ahead of him, Ari Davey to finish. Davey crosses in 75.10. So he will be the new leader. We're expecting, I'm going to call it now, I think 54. Hold me to it, 54.67. I'll write it down. Kai Stafford, down main wave. As number 101, Samuel Lindus. We've got the Lindus boys back to back. So Ari Davey, 75.10 in the lead, ahead of Roland Hemmer, 76.0. Louis Quek now third, 77.84. Kai Stafford, 87.95. He will go into 5th position. Lindis won on his way through, and 74.88 for Samuel Lindis. .99 at the top of the course, that's Daniel Elul. In the nice pink and purple boat. Bow riding up high. Gets out of the first turn. Elul as a number 100. That is David Lindis. Chases down his brother, the current leader, 74.88. And he comes through to the finish just in front. There you go. Nothing like rivalry, sibling rivalry. 74.88 for Samuel, 74.58 for David. We'll leave them to talk about that. And Daniel Elul next to finish. On course, Aidan Menzies, then Jake Werrett, and waiting to drop is Tom Bio. In fact, it's Jake Werrett who drops next. Good start from Werrett. Samuel Lindis leads. Just waiting for that score. No, so David Lindis, good time, but he's knocked down. No, into the lead for David Lindis, 74.58 ahead of Samuel Lindis, 74.88. So Lindis 1 and 2. Davey into third. Elul was 75.4. He's in fourth. The yellow helmet, blue boat. Good propulsion, I should say, from young Tom Bio. And he gets around that first turn as in sync. Number 97, that's Jake Werrett, gets away from the last up. And we are looking for a new leader here. Werrett coming through to the finish. A bib 97, 69.85. So good finish from Werrett. As Bio drops main wave, gets good glide into the last turn as number 95, Maximus Karamzalis comes out of the first upstream. So Bio next to finish. It's in the 60s. 69.85 the time to beat, and he just gets there. 67.38 for Tom Bio. 67.38. Maximus Karamzalis. It's a good screen name. And he is wearing bib number 95, and I've lost track of him. Oh, there he is. He's made his way down. He's in the last upstream turn, gliding peacefully up the eddy, and he'll be away to the finish shortly. Next to finish is Alexander Elul. 93 on course, Luca Tavarasa. So we're 15 boats in, 15 out of 47, and 15 is the number of boats that will drop out as we go into the knockout. Good roll, safely up for Luca. 71.88 for Alexander Elul, 71.88. So Bio leads, 67.38, Tom Bio. Jake Werrett in second, 69.85. Alexander Elul in third, 71.88. Next to finish will be Luca Tavarasa. And 66.2 for Tavarasa will put him into the lead ahead of Bio. 91 on course, Monroe McQueen. It's a good name, Monroe. Scottish clan, they came from Ireland, across the sea, up into the Highlands of Scotland. Got their own tartan. So Tavarasa into the lead, 66.20. Zach Kaizela, 70.50. That'll put him into fourth position. As Monroe McQueen tries to get away from that last turn. Lost a bit of time there. So he's still in the 60s though, 68.69 for Monroe McQueen. Rhys McRae next to finish. On course at the top, Toby Watkins. Rhys McRae coming through to the finish. Bib 90, it's a good run, 66.35. Just outside the lead, so he'll go into second position, Rhys McRae. Behind Luca Tavarasa and ahead of Tom Bio. Good roll from Toby Watkins. They roll good in Tassie. Got to get across though, bit of a fight. And number 88 at the top of the course, Isaac Long. Three longs racing today. We'll see Merle Long a little later. And we've seen, well, it's not fair to say Little Long, Olivia Long, now Isaac Long. Bib 87 is Cody Lindemann, USA. And ahead of him on the course, Isaac Long going well. 75.92 for Toby Watkins. 75.92. That'll be 12th position. Luca Tavarasa still leads 66.2. Ahead of Rhys McRae and Tom Bio. So on course we have two American representatives. Isaac Long coming through to finish his run, 81.72. As Cody Lindemann wearing 87. A little bit to do to finish. He's out of the last turn. And now it's Shmurnov. Igor Shmurnov at the top. So Toby Watkins into 12th, Isaac Long into 17th, and Lindemann into 20th. Oh no, he's not been ranked yet. Lindemann will go into 4th. So Shmurnov and then Bradley Wood on course, and then watch out for the next athlete, Wojtek Heger from Czechia, and David Beck of Germany, and then Riley Galea. Let's put a prediction down. One of those three is going to take the lead, or it's going to tumble amongst them. Shmurnov, 60.75. Who's going to be the first sub 60? 60.75, the new marker, the new leader from the independent athlete nation, Igor Shmurnov. Bradley Wood on his way. So Shmurnov, the new leader. Low 50s, still, well, sub 55. That's what we want. Bib 85 finishing now. That's Bradley Wood, 67.43. He's going to go into 5th position. Heger going strongly, number 84, and there goes Becker. I felt like saying Becker, Boris Becker. I reckon Becker would have been a good kayak cross competitor. Yeah, Beck gets away from the first turn. 58.88 for Heger, new leader for Czechia. So we are sub 60 now. 58.88. 61.93 was the fastest time in the women. That was from Teresa Neblova. And now we are down to 58.88 from Wojtek Heger of Czechia. Here comes Beck. 60.3 for the man from Germany. David Beck. We are halfway, well, into the second half of this field. Remember, 32 out of 47 go through. Some of those early starters will be sweating. Will they make it? Will they get to go again? Bib 81 on course now. 81 is Yu Mishima from Japan. He'll be followed by James Stamp and Hunter Florison. Next to finish is Bib 82 will be next to finish, by my reckoning, Riley Gallia. But no sign of him on my scoreboard. The invisible man. He's out there somewhere. James Stamp, back deck roll. So Stamp rolling, Hunter at the top, Florison, Hunter Florison, 79. And then the next starter is Savan Bio. .79 through the top section. As number 78, that is Savan Bio, gets away from the first turn. So Florison on the second turn, he's the next to finish. Here we go, Galea, 57.47, that's a good run. And I think that might put him into the lead. I've got Heger at top at the moment, 58.88, but a score's come through for Galea, and that is 57.47. 60.3 for Becker, we called that one. Mishima, 61.23. James Stamp, 62.42. They're dropping in. So new leader is Riley Galea, confirmed 57.47, over a second ahead of the Czech Wojtek Heger. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Go and give some feedback. Be ready. 77 across the line. Kozlov, 58.44. Leader still 57.47. That's Riley Galea for Australia. Wojtek Heger in second. David Beck of Germany in third. Mark Crosby is out there. Or is he? No, he's standing on the ramp. There's a little pause in proceedings, so chance to go through those scores. Again, leader Riley Galea, 57.47. In second, Wojtek Heger, 58.88. In third, David Beck, 60.3. In fourth, Igor Shmurnov, 60.75. In fifth, Savan Bio, 61.1. Waiting for Kozlov to be processed. His time was 58.44, which would put him into second. So we'll wait for the racing to get going. Kozlov goes into second, yes, 58.44, confirmed. So we are down to the last 15 boats. Crosby, Puchner, Kratochvil, Carter, they'll be the next starters. And the last man down in about 7 or 8 minutes after they get going will be Finn Butcher. So Crosby gets into his cockpit. Good start from Crosby, straight off the ramp, straight into motion. Fast inside line. He'll be followed by Oliver Puchner of New Zealand. Crosby away into the roll. No one in front of him on this run. Puchner on the ramp. Starter giving the instructions. That's Paul Branson of Paddle Australia. Crosby still high tempo down through main wave, chasing down Riley Galea, 57.47. And it depends a lot on that last turn. He does that well enough, but he's got to hurry up. Puchner into the roll. Crosby crossing, 58.45. That will put him into third position, just behind Kozlov. Galea, Kozlov, Crosby, Heger, Beck. .74 on course. Kratochvil of Czechia, Luka Kratochvil. He'll be followed by Tristan Carter. So next to finish is Puchner was 59.32, which will put him into fifth position for New Zealand. Puchner, Kratochvil next to finish, and away goes Tristan Carter. Carter in the blue boat, number 73. Kratochvil through to the finish. It's going to be close. Crosby's in third, 58.45. Don't think Kratochvil will take the lead, but he finishes strongly, 57.39. He does. Strong finish from the Czech. Carter through the double down and takes the ramp at main wave, pointing the bows down the river, keeping the speed on into that turn. Just held up slightly. So he'll be outside the lead, but a good run. Kratochvil the leader, 57.39, 60.54 for Carter. That will put him into 8th position. Friedensen, Kalen Friedensen from the USA. He's the next finisher, and after him will be Mark Zielonka of Canada. Five Australians still to come in the last 10 boats, so expect these scores to come down. The lead is 57.39. Friedensen finishes 61.87 for USA. 61.87 will go into 12th. Zielonka on course. Here comes Dom Curtin off the ramp. And down the top drop Good speed and power from Curtin. Rudolfer of Czechia is next to go. He's strong under 23 competitor from Czechia. Curtin flying into the roll, quick back deck, 71 crossing over. That's Velonka, 64.6. That's going to be midway through the field in 14th for Canada. So Curtin needs a good turn on there. He gets away quickly and he's going to be contending for the lead. I'd say 57.39. If he can get to the finish sharp, 58.61 for Curtin. That puts him into 5th position. 58.61, Rudolfer. Handy little move to move the boy across in the red boat for Czechia. Upright style. Merle Long on the course now. We're going to be seeing a lot more of this young man. He was in the kayak final yesterday. And here he comes, very quick first turn. Whips it around. Rudolfer, 58.65. That will put him in 6th, just behind Curtin, who's in 5th. Best Australian at the moment, still Riley Galea in 2nd, 57.47. Then Crosby, 58.45. Curtin, 58.61. On course Long, down main wave for Merle Long. Then it's Ben Pope and Lucien Delfour. So Aussies everywhere as we're into the last half dozen boats. Here comes Long, powering still. It's a good run. Is it 57.53? 57.53, and that puts Merle Long into 3rd position ahead of Kozlov and Mark Crosby. So still Riley Galea, the best Australian, 57.47, but just behind him in 57.53, Merle Long, Ben Pope and Lucien Delfour now on course. Delfour in the dark colours out of the first up. Ben Pope in white. White's a good colour for the Pope. And Pope finishes in 58.36, which will put him into 3rd. 58.36 puts him ahead of Kozlov. It'll be behind Long, who's still to drop onto my leaderboard. So a bit of adjustment to come, but a good run from Ben Pope, 58.36. On course now, Delfour will be the next to finish. He's coming away strongly through to the finish, 56.57, 57.76. Well, I was looking for a sub 55. I think I'm running out of, well, they said running out of pipe for Scotty James. I'm running out of start list. Tim Anderson in white into the last turn, and he's going to come out in sub 50, get to the finish. That's a good turn from Anderson. So Kratochville, 57.39 leads. Galea, Australia 2nd, 57.47. Anderson crosses in 56.97. New leader for Australia, 56.97, Tim Anderson. Ahead of Kratochville of Czechia, 57.39, and Galea, Australia, 57.47. Hochevar, we're down to the last 4. Hochevar, Krejci, Novak, Butcher. Hochevar wearing 64. And just crossing was Hochevar, in fact, 57.7. 57.7, and now we are looking at Jakub Krejci. It's hard to know with this Red Bull Racing team who's who. There's a few of them out there. Krejci, good speed on the boat out of the last turn, and chasing down the leader, Tim Anderson, 56.97, 56.21 for Jakub Krejci of Czechia. Krejci Krejci. Novak follows, Matthias Novak. And the final boat just launching. Both hands on deck for Finn Butcher as he throws himself into this time trial individual. So 2 boats to finish. Novak chasing down the 56.21 of Jakub Krejci. And he's going to be close. 55.93 for Novak. Well, there's only one man left to go sub 55, and it's the Butcher. So 55.93 the time to beat. Butcher is away well. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. 54, 55, 56.29. So Novak 55.93, Krejci 56.21 in second, 56.29 for Butcher in third. Tim Anderson will be fourth, 56.97. We'll just wait for these scores to settle and call them out fully because they're processing. Okay, looks like we're all in. Butcher's on the leaderboard in third. So Novak for Czechia, 55.93, takes out the men's kayak cross individual time trial. In second for Czechia, Jakub Krejci, 56.21. In third for New Zealand, Finn Butcher, 56.29. In fourth, the best Australian, 56.97. That's Timothy Anderson. In fifth, Lukas Kratochvil, 57.39. That's 3 Czechs in the top 5. Second Australian in the 6th position, Riley Galea, 57.47. Then it's Merle Long in 7 with 57.53. Lucien Delfour, 57.76 in 8th. Benjamin Pope, Australia in 9, 58.36. In 10, Ivan Kozlov, AIN, 58.44. Mark Crosby, 11. 58.45. Dom Curtin, Australia in 12th, 58.61. They're the top 12 qualifiers. 32 go through to the knockout stage, and we will bring you those draws shortly, and we will be back for the women's kayak cross heats at 10 past 10. So short break. See you soon. Neblova from Czechia, Yazawa from Japan, Bukok from Australia, and Williams from New Zealand. Neblova nicely out in front, untroubled. 2 to go through, of course. And the second boat coming through in green, it's Yazawa from Japan. So Neblova easy does it, across the line, Yazawa to follow, and Bukok finishing in 3rd position. Next heat is Oting, USA, Minnesota, AIN, Long, USA, and Casserly, Australia. So that's heat 2. Women's kayak cross heats. We're into the elimination. So AIN, USA. And then the yellow, golden yellow, the golden yellow of Long of the USA and Casserly in the blue, rounding out the field. So that's heat 2. So heat 3 coming up: Pankova, Slovakia; Mackie, Australia; Wiley, Australia; and Davies, Australia.
It's just a small change to the men's bracket. I gave you before.
So heat 3, women's kayak cross heats. In the red, Pankova from Slovakia. In the green, Mackie from Australia. In the blue, Wiley for Australia. And in the yellow, Davies for Australia. Good start. The red in the lane, second from the right into the lead. That's Pankova. Good fast start from the Slovakian, followed by the green of Ada Maki. Pankova goes left, and Pankova gets away quickly ahead of Maki into the roll. And no doubt there for Susanna Pankova, well out in front. And in second currently is the yellow of Davies for Australia. So Pankova crossing comfortably, and the second is Maki in the green. So Maki came back into contention. She dropped behind and goes through provisionally. So Pankova, Maki 1 and 2. Then Casserly crosses, and finally Long for the USA in blue. So congratulations to Pankova and Maki 1 and 2. heat 4. Let's keep the show going. Heat 4 of 8. So we've seen Minnesota, well, going from the top, Nebulova, Yazawa qualify, Minnesota, Oting, Hankova, Maki, and then out of this heat 4, 2 boats to go through. In the red, it is Kim Woods from Great Britain, Cody Davidson in the green for Australia, Finn Stevenson for Australia in blue, and Sophia Alpha, Great Britain. So Ash is up for grabs, 2 Brits, 2 Australians. Red, green, yellow, blue, right to left as we look at them. Okay, recording. So Woods, Davidson, Stevenson and Alpha, red, green, blue, yellow. Woods, no surprise, out in front. Then it is the green bib of Davidson. Woods goes to the right, Davidson goes after her, and Wood gets out just in front. Good turn from Davidson to follow, although could have been a bit of a tangle. Here comes Woods through the double down, comfortably in the lead already. We see that separation early on. Then Woods goes for the left-hand turn and goes through comfortably, followed by Cody Davidson in the green, and the next will be the blue, Finn Stevenson. So looking back at the earlier ones, I do see a fault that has appeared, not in this heat, but for Yazawa in heat 1. So there we have it, Woods and Davidson, 1 and 2. Wait for that confirmation. So 4 heats in, 4 to come. Next one is a good one. Well, they're all good ones. Nothing can be taken for granted. Got to deal with the elements, you've got to deal with your competition, you've got to deal with the course, deal with the unexpected. So heat 5 coming up will be Svolinska, Crosby, Hocheva and Sokolova. Poland, Australia, Slovenia and AIN. for Heat 5. And what a great heat this one is. In the red for Poland, Klaudia Swolinska. In the green for Australia, Sarah Crosby. In the blue for Slovenia, it is the undisputable Hocheva, and in the yellow for AIN, it is Sokolova. So Evelyn Hocheva in the blue, but it's red and then blue coming through ahead of green. So that's Hocheva for Slovenia, just edging out Crosby. This early tussle, but Slovenska goes ahead. Good turn from Crosby. Will she get out into second? She needs to. So the fight will be on here for second and third, clearly. And the cross. So yeah, a real struggle for second. No doubt about the lead for Klaudia Swolinska. Evalina Hocheva and Sarah Crosby out of shot, but you sense there's a tussle. And it's the blue that comes out on top. And that's Evalina Hocheva, and in the third, Crosby in the green, rounding out with the yellow of Sokolova for the AIN. So there we have it. Swolinska and Hocheva, 1 and 2, they will go through to quarterfinal number 3. Well, separate quarterfinals. So we have the quarterfinal draw for quarters 1 and 2 for the women. In quarterfinal 1, it'll be Neblova for the Czechia, Minazova AIN, Utting USA, and Yazawa Japan. That's quarterfinal 1. In quarterfinal 2, it'll be Woods, Great Britain, Pankova, Slovakia, Mackie, Australia, and Davidson, Australia. So great experience there for the young Australians. But we are now into heat number 6. Lining up on the ramp, we have in the red bib from Czechia, it is Bekova. Katarina Bekova. In the green for the USA, Marcella Altman. In the blue for Australia, it is Madeline Blacklock, and in the yellow for the USA, it is Georgia Lindemann. So yellow, red, green, blue, mixing up the colors. Bekova goes for the choice of lane 2 and bounces out in front, but on the inside, the yellow of the American fighting hard, but red in the lead. No surprises there. It's Bekova of Czechia, followed by the green of the USA and Altman, and then in the yellow it is Lindemann. So red it is. Bekova into the roll. As we've seen so often, the first boat gets away and the tussle happens behind. So Bekova coming down comfortably, chooses the right turn and gets away quickly. So she goes through. Next in is the yellow of Lindemann for the USA. Or is it? There's a fight on here in the eddy with Altman. It's a civil war for the Americans, and it's Altman that comes out on top. So Altman through to the finish. She'll qualify in second. So Bekova, Czechia, and Altman, USA, 1 and 2. 2 heats to go. And in heat 7, in the red, Hilgertova, Amelie Hilgertova from Czechia, Ria Shribar, USA in the green. In the blue, it is, well, we've got 2 Watsons here. Let's get this right. Amelia and Abigail in the blue and the yellow. So again, the choice of lane 2 for the higher seeded red bib. This time it's Hilgertova. Yeah, there's 2 Watsons and they've both got the A initial, and I don't know which one is which. Waiting for the starter. So in the blue, it's Abigail. And in the yellow, it is Amelia for the 2 Watsons. We've sold that one. But it's the red of Hilgertova, gets out in front, or does she? The fight is on from the inside. That's Ria Shribar, who comes out on top in that tussle. Shribar for the USA. Hilgertova for Czechia. Shribar gets out. Well, she's in a scrap there and finds herself in second behind Hilgertova, who gets away into the roll first. So Hilgertova out in front, then Shribar in second for the USA. Hilgertova away through to the finish, Shribar to follow. And then Amelia ahead of the yellow of Abigail, the Watsons. They take each one side of the course and round out the heat number 7. So one more heat to go. Fox, O'Callaghan, Ochi and Florison. And then we go into the men's heats. The women's quarterfinals due to start at 11:20, but keep your eye on that clock. Here we go. In the near side lane from Australia, Naomi Fox in the red. In the green for Australia, Georgia O'Callaghan. In the blue for Japan, Masumi Ochi. And in the yellow for Australia, Isabella Florison. So Fox, O'Callaghan, Ochi, Florison, heat 8. 2 to go through. waiting for the starter, or the signal to the starter for Naomi Fox, Giorgio Callahan, Masumi Ochi, and Isabella Florison for Heat 8. Where they go on the near side, on the inside of the course, it's Naomi Fox getting away, and the challenge coming from Giorgio Callahan. With Fox in front as they come down to the first turn. Which ways? Callahan goes left, Fox goes right. Fox gets away quickly, cleanly into the roll. Not far behind O'Callaghan. And in third position at this stage is the blue. And the blue is Masumi Ochi of Japan. Isabella Florison in behind. So Fox ahead, down main wave, gets the glide. She's going for the left-hand turn, leaving the way for O'Callaghan to take the right. So Fox and O'Callaghan. Well, if O'Callaghan can get herself out of trouble, and she's overtaken on the inside. What a move from Masumi Ochi. What a surprise. The Japanese paddler saw the opening and went for it, so that's a shock upset there for Heat 8. Fox crosses first, then Ochi of Japan, then O'Callaghan and Isabella Florison bringing up the rear. So that's it for the women's heats. We'll bring you the draws. They are being calculated right now. So quarterfinal 3 and 4 to be completed. We'll bring those to you. In the meantime, we will get ready for the men's heats. And see, 8 heats the same, 2 to go through. So we came down from a field of 47 to a field of 32. This is the first of 8 heats. Matthias Novak from Czechia, Oliver Puchner of New Zealand, David Beck of Germany, and Zach Kaisela of Australia. Red, green, blue, and yellow. We're waiting for something. A little bit of, I just need a quick wash in the river from Matthias Novak. He doesn't want to be rushed. The others are in their starting position. He's going, oh, wait for me. So Novak heads up to the start, finally. Novak, the fastest qualifier in 55.93, so expect him to be first out of the gate. Puchner was 16th in a time of 59.32. So let's see if that order is respected. And away they go, big push. his boat seemed to stall as it rose up. So into Heat 2, Hochevar in the red, Delfour, Australia in a green, Ziolonka of Canada in a blue, and Tavarasa of Australia in the yellow. Tavarasa on the far side and Hochevar on the near side. And in the middle, Delfour and Ziolonka. So Slovenia, Australia, Canada, Australia. Heat 2 of 8. Delfour going with the full face look. He does ride a motorcycle. I wonder if it's the same helmet. No, it's not. Here we go. Hochevar flies off the ramp. No doubt about the lead, but that's not so bad for Delfour, who catches the wash and is right on the tail of the Slovenian. So Hochevar leads, good speed off the start. He goes to the left-hand side of the river, gets the turn in, and Delfour to the right. Good turn from Delfour, who comes out on top into the roll. So Delfour up and ahead now, overtaking the early lead of Hochevar. So Delfour has the advantage if he can hold it. Will they go separate sides or will they chase each other down? They're chasing hard. Hochevar's going for the overtake, but to no avail. Delfour holds off. Good paddling from the Australian to take out Heat 2. Delfour in the green ahead of Hochevar in the red. So it was that first turn from Lucien Delfour that did it for him. And in the blue, cruising across the line, is Ziolonka from Canada, and in a fourth position, Tavarasa from Australia. So that's it for Heat 2. In Heat 3, we have in the red Kratochvil of Czechia, in the green for Australia, Crosby and Mishima in blue for Japan, and Wood in yellow for Australia. Bradley Wood, Yuji Mishima, Mark Crosby, and Kratochvil, Luka Kratochvil of Czechia. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Red on the near side, then green. Mishima in blue, full face helmet. The helmet designs are certified. There's no obligation to have a full face protection, but it is the choice of some. So Luka Kratochvil, 57.39, was fifth in the qualifying round. Mark Crosby was 12th with 58.45. Yu Mishima was 21st, 61.23. And Bradley Wood, 28th with 67.43. So Kratochvil, the favourite on speed, but add to that strategy, tactics, push and shove, and it's anyone's game. Push away. Crosby gets away well in the green and comes out in front. Good landing from Mark Crosby for Australia ahead of the favourite Kratochvil. So Crosby goes to the right side. Kratochvil has his hands full on the left side. Crosby gets away well, and it is the yellow of Bradley Wood for Australia who comes out on top. What a manoeuvre from the Australian to take out in that tussle, getting himself into second position. So the Czech, the fastest of this heat in the time trial, finds himself in all sorts of trouble. Still a bit of time, and the final turn will be his opportunity. But Crosby finds himself well out in front. Here comes Bradley Wood. He has a bit of clear water, so Wood could go through. And he comes out in second position overall. So Kratochville left to rue this heat and go, what went wrong? So Crosby and Wood go through for Australia. Great racing. What a heat 4 assembling. An all Aussie affair.
This is, yeah, okay, this is women's quarterfinals.
Well, we have the women's quarterfinal draws while we wait for these boys to get ready. In quarterfinal 1, Neblova, Minazova, Oting, Yazawa. In quarterfinal 2, Woods, Pankova, Mackey and Davidson. Quarterfinal 3, Svelinska, Bekova, Altman, Hocheva. And quarterfinal 4 is Fox, Hilgatova, Ochi and Watson. So those quarterfinal draws now available. First 2 go through to the semis, so stand by in about 20 minutes for the quarterfinals. We have to get through the rest of the heats. We are in heat number 4, Anderson, Curtin, Bio, McQueen. Anderson in position in the red, Curtin in position in the green, and then McQueen in position in the yellow. There's no blue of Sevavan Bio. So it looks like it's 3 out of 4. 2 to go through. So Bio being a no-show, it's left to these 3 to fight it out for the 2 spots. Anderson quickly through, or is he? It's Curtin. What a tussle it is between those 2. I'm not sure. Yes, I think they went through there cleanly. Yeah, Curtin goes right. If he can get a quick turn here, he's got an advantage over Tim Anderson. He just pulls out in front. Anderson in a second, going into the roll. So good start from Dominic Curtin. Won the tussle into the first gate. Gets the push. And these 2 look comfortably ahead of the yellow Monroe McQueen. So Curtin goes for the right. Anderson was going to take him on, but decides not to. And goes left and amazingly comes out, but the sprint to the line is on. Anderson, what a good little deceptive move he played there. And he comes out on top with a very fast turn, which we missed on camera, but discreet operation successfully completed by Tim Anderson and then Dom Curtin, both Australians going through. Monroe McQueen eliminated from the competition. So we're halfway through the men's heats, still to come. Heats 5, 6, 7 and 8 lining up on the top. We have, they look like prize fighters going into combat. Finn Butcher getting into his black boat, wearing the red bib for New Zealand, the Olympic champion. For the Czech Republic, Martin Rudorfer, he's wearing the green. And in the blue for the USA, it is Kalen Friedensen. And on the far side, in the, oh no, I'm wrong on this, it's Shmurnov from the AIN in the blue. And on the far side, wearing yellow, it's Hunter Florison. Butcher, Rudorfer, Shmurnov, and Florison, and away they go. Butcher pushes off well, gets a good landing, and gets out in front of the green bib of Rudorfer. So Butcher going right, and Rudorfer chasing him. So the 2 of them now, Rudorfer and Finn Butcher. Don't mess with the Butcher, who comes out on top and into the roll first. In the yellow, it's Florison, who's come out of those Well, that battle pretty well. Butcher being pushed off. He's in trouble. He's got to catch the surf and gets out of jail. Meanwhile, the green, what a fight this is. It's Rudorfer. This is the best race so far. Rudorfer now comfortably in front. Butcher back on track. That was quite the fight. And Florison, who was in the thick of the battle, came off second best in the struggle of the downs. And, well, Smirnov is just playing his way down to the finish. Disgruntled, no doubt. Well, that was a good fight. And Butcher fought well, but Rudorfer came out with the win. So Rudorfer, Butcher will go through. Okay. Did you have a good time last night?
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but catch up a bit.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll chat to you tomorrow or Tuesday morning. I'm up in, we've got a retreat, leadership retreat.
Lovely. Yeah, nice. So when have you got that?
Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 days, and then back.
Over in Brisbane, I've got a presentation for Rocky for the final.
Go, Rocky. We're with conviction, John.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Cheers, mate.
Well, let's see what we can do in heat number 6 to follow that full-on combat in heat 5. And in this heat, in the red, Riley Galea. So Galea came out in 6th place, 57.47 in the time trial. Limbering up in the green for the AIN, Kozlov, Ivan Kozlov. Kozlov was in 11th, 58.44, so handy times. And Kalen Friedensen was off the first page in 22nd, 61.87 in the time trial. And on the far side, it is, in this case now, Tom Vio for Australia. He was 27th, 67.38. They should do this. We should present the athletes standing up like that. It's better. Introduce them and they can do their wave and then goes Riley Galea, Ivan Kozlov, Kalen Friedensen and Tom Bio. Like sprinters settling into their blocks. And away they go. It's the green of Kozlov. And Galea in the red in that second. Good fight from the blue, Friedensen in third, so closely spaced. Kozlov goes in first for the turn, gets out. Kayak lets him go, and that was a wise move, unimpeded there. So it's 1 and 2. Kozlov, Kayak. Settling into it, not getting in each other's way. So Kozlov in the green, Ivan Kozlov, and Kayak in the red. So Kozlov goes right, Kayak goes left. That left turn is a quick one, if done well. But it's green over red in heat 6. Kayak and Kozlov 1 and 2. Australia and the AIN. Friedensen in blue, and then Tombio. Good effort from the youngster in amongst it. So 2 heats to go. In the red bib on the near side. Merle Long for Australia in the blue. Well, actually, let's go green next. Ben Pope for Australia in the blue. James Stamp for Australia, and in the yellow, Rhys McRae. So 4 Australians in this heat number 7. Merle Long was 7th in the time trial, Ben Pope 10th, Stamp 23rd, and McRae 26th. So on paper, Long the fastest, but watch Ben Pope go too. He's a strong kayak cross paddler. It's Merle Long out in front though. In the blue boat, the red bib, Pope right on his tail. And he is going for it. So Pope goes out ahead of Long. So Pope and Long 1 and 2. It's very close. So this will be interesting now. Is Long going to try and compete on these 2 downs, or is he going to let him go? No, he comes in behind. So it's all on the last turn for the lead, but 1 and 2 it is. Green, it's Ben Pope, and red, it's Merle Long. Long goes left. Pope gets that turn done, and he's away. So Pope will win it, and Merle Long settles for second. So bit of intent shown at the top. Yellow into third. That's Rhys McRae ahead of James Stamp. So good work in that All-Australian heat, and well done to Ben Pope. So one more. And then we will move into the women's quarterfinals. So in this heat number 8, Jakub Krejci of Czechia. Wojtek Heger, also from Czechia. Tristan Carter, Australia, and Jake Werrett for Australia. So Krejci was the second fastest, and then Heger was 15th. So bit of speed from the man on the inside wearing the red, Jakub. And Jake Werrett on the outside. It's great experience lining up with big guns. you don't really want to look across at the guns as they line up. But on a day like today, they're covered up with, well, they have to be, with Lycra. Good start from Krejci, no doubt about that, out in front. And then a bit of a tussle for seconds. So Krejci's going to get away cleanly. One would think out of the first turn. Goes in to the right. His teammate, countryman. Oh, and he misses that, but just comes out. So in the blue now, it is a good opportunity for Tristan Carter to go through. He's in second place, has a little bit of a margin ahead of Heger. Krejci out in front, Carter into second, and needs to hold on to that position to go through. So sprinting hard, goes for the right turn, and needs to get this one in and out. And he does. So Carter will go through in second. Good work from the Australian. Krejci, no doubt about him. He's in front and will go through, the favourite out of this heat, number 8. And young Jake Werrett staying with it and finishing in 4th. So heat 8 is done and dusted, and we will be up soon with the women's quarterfinals. It says here starting at 11:20. We'll see whether we have a bit more of a breather or not. So coming up, quarterfinals for the women, and the first of those quarterfinals, Neblova, Czechia, Minazova, AIN, Oting, USA, and Yazawa from Japan. That's quarterfinal 1 coming up soon at the Penrith Open 2026. ready, aren't they? And straight into it with the women's quarterfinal. In the red, Neblova, Czechia. In the green, Minazova, AIN. In the blue, Oting, USA. And in the yellow, on the far side, Yazawa for Japan. Winner of the individual time trial, Neblova, choosing the inside lane. Minazova was 9th, Oting was 8th, Yazawa 16th, so faster boats are making it through. And she's out in front in the red bib, that's Neblova. Minazova just tucking in nicely behind, and she's following Neblova into that first turn. 3 boats in a fight there on the far side, and it is the blue bib of Minazova who comes out on top. So definitely more of a fight. And this turn here, and getting across, so bit of trouble for the athletes. So Oting finds herself out in front, followed by Neblova. Neblova goes left, and she's still got trouble. She's got Minazova fighting her way down, but Neblova holds on and comes out in second. So Oting for USA in front. Neblova fights into 2 second, and Minazova has to settle for 3rd. So we'll get confirmation on the scores once they've been checked, but 2 go through. Oting and Neblova looks like, but in quarterfinal 2 lining up, Kim Woods for Great Britain in the red, in the green for Slovakia, Zuzana Pankova, in the blue for Australia, Ada Mackey, and also from Australia on the far side in yellow, Cody Davidson. So Britain, Slovakia, Australia. Woods was 4th in the individual, followed closely by Pankova. Good runs from Mackey in 12th and Davidson 13th. On the near side, Pankova, then Mackey and Davidson on the outside. And away they go, Woods double push, and off she goes on the inside into the lead. Bow down the river ahead of Pankova, so a bit of a lead. She should be able to get out in front, quick turn. She goes right, Pankova goes left, not taking on the confrontation, and there's a tussle on that left side. So Pankova comes out, but in the blue, it's Ada Mackie who is matching her. So Mackie rolls up and just finds herself still in third position. So Pankova gets a good turn on the down and will hold on to that second place. Woods comfortably in the lead this stage. And Woods goes left, Pankova goes right. So Pankova moving quickly down the course. She won't catch Woods. Good effort from Ada Mackie. She's going to be third. And Cody Davidson gets away in fourth place, but caught a bit in the eddy. So Woods, Pankova, Mackie, Davidson, 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. Red, green, blue, yellow. So Woods and Pankova through to semi-final 1. Red for Poland, Klaudia Swolinska. In the green for Czechia, it is Katarina Bekova. In the blue for the USA, Marcela Altman. And in the yellow for Slovenia, Eva Alina Hocheva. So Swolinska, Bekova, Altman, Hocheva, Poland, Czechia, USA, Slovenia. 2 to go through. Good landing from Swolinska, but a good fight on her inside from Bekova, who seems to come out on top. No, she doesn't. It's Swolinska who goes through in the lead, through to the first upstream. Swolinska is going left, and so is Bekova, and then the other two think, oh, we'll get out of here and go to the other side. Swolinska comes out on top. Bekova still in second. Bit of rolling going on in the eddy behind those two with Altman and Hocheva. So work to do for the Slovenian and the American as Swolinska and Bekova work to consolidate their position. 2 to go through. So just the last turn, if the gap's too big. So Swolinska comes out in front. Bekova will be close. In fact, there's a tussle there. And it could be that Bekova gets there. Bekova gets it over Swolinska, who was a little complacent, and but both go through nonetheless. So Swolinska, Bekova, Poland and Czechia go through to the semi-finals. And here we go. Quarter-final number 4 in the red, Naomi Fox for Australia. In the green, Czechia, Amelie Hilgertova. In the blue for Japan, Masumi Ochi. And in the yellow for Australia, it is Amelia Watson. Or even Abigail. So Abigail Watson on the outside, Masumi Ochi for Japan, Hilgertova for Czechia, and Fox for Australia. Fox away on the inside. But so is Hilgertova, who comes out in the lead, but just overtaken again by Fox on the inside of the pole. So Fox in the front goes right, Hilgertova is going to go left, and Fox away, and so is Hilgertova. So 1 and 2 going to form red and green. Roll from Fox, roll from Hilgertova. Then it's the blue getting caught a little bit offline. That's Masumi Ochi. So nicely spread out. Abigail Watson going well, but in 4th position. Fox going for the left-hand turn. And down the eddy line, comfortably through. So Australia and Czechia go through into the semi-final, where they will meet Zvolenska and Bekova. A bit of a tussle going on there for 3rd and 4th, and I think it's Watson who just edges out Ochi. You never know. Could be worth something one day. So that's it for the women's quarterfinals. Coming up next, the men's quarters. And we'll bring you the semi-final draw for the women as soon as we have it. But the men's quarterfinals, we are on track to start at 11:36. And in quarterfinal number 1, getting ready, will be Matthias Novak of Czechia, Lucien Delfour of Australia, Zigalin Hocheva from Slovenia, and David Beck from Germany. That's a pretty solid quarterfinal to kick off this next round. Czechia, Australia, Slovenia, and Germany. Quarterfinal 2 is an all-Australian affair with Anderson, Crosby, Curtin, and Wood. So guaranteed 2 Australians at least in semi-final 1. And quarterfinal 3 is Kozlov AIN, Rudolfa Czechia, Butcher New Zealand, and Galea Australia. And in the final quarterfinal number 4, Krejci, one of the fastest men out there for Czechia, Pope from Australia, Mel Long, they'll continue their tussle for Australia, and Heger for Czechia. So great racing ahead in the quarterfinals for the men. Here we go, kayak cross men's quarterfinals. Quarterfinal number 1. Fastest man in qualifying in the time trial, Matthias Novak for Czechia, wearing the red bib. Next to him in the green bib, Lucien Delfour, Australia. Further along in the blue for Slovenia, Zigelin Hocevar. And on the outside for Germany, David Beck. Jakub, Matthias. So the two Czechs, Novak and Krejci, were 1 and 2, and they'll be hoping to meet one another in the final, but they're opposite sides of the draw. But here we go with Novak in the red on the inside, gets away well. Delfour on his tail, surfing the wash instead of trying to overtake him. Third at this stage is the German, David Beck. So Delfour goes left, and he gets out, or does he? Yes, he does, into second position for Australia, but in front, Novak powering away. Delfour needs to work hard now to open up a little bit of a gap between him and the next two. And off he goes between the two downs. That's good. Secured his position in second. Novak cruising to the right side. Oh, just made harder work of that than he needed to. Delfour finishes with his turn, and Hocevar and Beck are going to be eliminated from the competition. So Czechia and Australia 1 and 2. And quarterfinal number 2 to follow. Do we have music? Did we have music earlier? Yeah. Did you cut it? Can I put it on? Quarterfinal number 2, the All-Australian quarterfinal, with Tim Anderson in red, Mark Crosby in green, Dominic Curtin in blue, and Bradley Wood in yellow. Red, green, blue, yellow. Anderson, 4th fastest in the individual time trial, ahead of Crosby in 12th, Curtin 13th, and Wood in 28th. And here we go, quarterfinal number 2, Anderson, Crosby, Curtin and Wood, all Australian, and it's Anderson in the white boat and the red bib just in front of Dominic Curtin in the blue and Mark Crosby in the green. So Anderson goes to the right, followed by Dom Curtin, and Curtin in trouble, but he gets going and he's still come out in second. Anderson away, Crosby and Curtin close second. Oh, and Curtin goes off course into the obstacles. So Mark Crosby into second position. Anderson looks behind and says, okay, I've got this, just take it easy. One turn to go. He goes left. Good turn to finish, and it is the green bib of Mark Crosby who goes into second. So out of the roll, that's what cost Dom Curtin. He rolled and went right into the obstacles and couldn't recover. So Crosby will go through in second, and Tim Anderson out in front through the semi-final, where they'll meet Lucien Delfour, 3 Aussies, against Matthias Novak, the number 1 ranked athlete out of the time trial. So by my calculations, that means there will be an Australian in the final. 3 Aussies and 1 Czech athlete in the semi, so stacking it. And that's just on this side of the draw. On the other side of the draw, still in contention for Australia, Riley Galea, Ben Pope, and Merle Long. So 3 Australians in the quarterfinals there. No guarantee of qualification. So quarterfinal 3 will be Ivan Kozlov from the AIN, Martin Rudoffer from Czechia, Finn Butcher from New Zealand, and Riley Galea from Australia. So Kozlov in red, Rudoffer in green, Butcher in blue, and Galea in yellow. So these quarterfinals have got fast boats in there. So Butcher was 3rd in the time trial, Galea was 6th, Kozlov 11, Rudorfer 14. So 2 quarters to go in the men's, and then we will jump into the women's semi-finals. And while we're here, let's give you those draws. So the women's semi-finals, in semi-final 1, Kim Woods, Great Britain. For the USA, we have Karden Otting. And for Czechia, we have Teresa Neblova. And for Slovakia, Zuzana Pankova. So Woods, Otting, Neblova, Pankova, semi-1. Semi-2 is Fox, Bekova, Zvolinska, and Hilgertova. So Fox for Australia, Katarina Bekova for Czechia, Claudia Zvolinska for Poland, and Amelie Hilgertova for Czechia. So 2 semis, hot semis coming up to sort out the finalists. And meanwhile, men's quarterfinal 3 right in front of us, Kozlov, Rudorfer, Butcher, Galea. And they're lined up, ready to go. So clean water on the near side for Kozlov, but he comes out second best to Rudorfer from Czechia. Rudorfer leads Kozlov with Butcher in 3rd. Watch Butcher go here. He goes left, he gets a clean line into the left up. That's a gift for Finn Butcher. But on the far side, they came out quickly too. So it is in the lead, Rudorfer in 2nd. It is Kozlov, and Butcher still in 3rd. So Butcher has one more shot to find his way past Rudorfer, and he's going to close in on Rudorfer here. Rudorfer goes left, and Butcher again, he's got a clean shot at this, and he gets away. It is the green bib, and then the red bib So green of Rudolph, red of Kozlov go through 1 and 2, and Butcher has to settle for 3rd place. And Riley Galea in the yellow in 4th. So good work from Rudolph and Kozlov out of that first turn. And Butcher looked like he had a shot there, but they came out so fast, they held their lead all the way through. Now, 1 quarterfinal to go. Number 4, we'll see Jakub Krejci of Czechia. He's wearing the red. Ben Pope for Australia wearing the green. Merle Long, Australia wearing blue. And Wojtek Heger, Czechia on the far side are wearing yellow. So 2 Czechs, 2 Australians. There's no sharing. It's every man for himself in quarterfinal number 4, looking to join Kozlov, Rudolph, Anderson, Crosby, Novak and Delfour, and away they go on the inside in the red bib, coming out in front. No surprise there that it's Krejci of Czechia, Krejci ahead of Pope. No, it's Merle Long in the blue who goes right. He gets a clean shot at an up and he gets away, or does he? No, he has to go back. So the red of Krejci out in front. Heger in yellow is coming up second, then Ben Pope. Merle Long has a lot to do. Had to double take on that first upstream turn. I thought he'd got it, but he made sure. And now Krejci cruising down, easy for him. What's going to happen? Heger versus Pope. And they're all 3 together now. And Long coming through in the blue. This is a fight for second. And Heger, no, Merle Long comes out. Fights through to the finish. Or something's going on there. Heger seemed to give up the fight. Ben Pope drifting, so things happening up the course as Krejci cruised all the way through. So wait and see if the judges intervene on anything there. But otherwise, across the line there was Krejci, then Long, then Heger and Pope. So that's it for men's quarters. Next up will be women's semi-finals. We're on for the women's semi-final in the Kayak Cross here at the 2026 Penrith Open. In the red, Kim Woods for Great Britain. In the green for the USA, we have Karin Oeting, and in the blue for Czechia, Teresa Neblova, and in the yellow for Slovakia, Zuzana Pankova. So Woods, Oeting, Neblova, Pankova. To go through to the final. Doo-doo, doo-doo. And they go, hands on the paddles, and Woods gets away well. On the far side, there was a struggle going on, but it is the green of Oeting who's coming out in second ahead of the blue of Neblova. So Woods, clean shot to get away well out of this first turn, and she does that. On the far side, it's the blue of Neblova who comes into the roll second. So Woods in one, Neblova now in the second position. And fighting her way over for the downstream. So Kim Woods comfortable. It is the blue of Neblova, but she's being challenged, and challenged hard by Pankova. Good effort from the Slovakian, but not enough. And Karin Oeting has to settle for fourth. So Woods it is, and Neblova out of semi-final one going through to the final. Semi-final two getting in position. The gaps get shorter for the athletes as more boats get knocked out, and we get going through semi-finals and then a quick turnaround into the final. Men's semis to follow. There's a lot of stuff we miss, like when you're watching, because you're on the leader. I don't know what happened in that men's quarter with Merle, and it was a big. In the red on the near side, Naomi Fox for Australia, Katarina Bekova in green for Czechia, Klaudia Svolinska in blue for Poland, and on the far side, Amy Helgatova in yellow for Czechia. Australia, Czechia, Poland, and Czechia, two to go through. They'll join Kim Woods and Teresa Neblova. And away they go. Fox lands on the inside, gets the sprint, and just squeezes in front. So tight start. Fox in the lead, goes to the right-hand side and gets away on the turn. There's a tussle on the near side. And it is the green of Bekova from Czechia, currently in second, but close on her heels. It's Hilgatova and Svolinska. Fox goes left. It's the green of Bekova, also coming to the left side. And she is now being challenged by Amy Hilgatova, check on check. And on the far side, finishing off as Svolinska from Poland. But looks to be Fox and Bekova, 1 and 2, into the final. So Australia, Czechia, Great Britain, and Czechia. So 2 Czechs will proceed to the women's final, Neblova and Bekova, and Great Britain with Kim Woods, and Australia with Naomi Fox, to be checked, of course. I'll pick one, Naomi. She's been given a cue. So 4 races to come, 2 semi-finals for the men, followed by the women's final and the men's final. Looking forward to the men's semi-finals. We have the fastest man from the time trial in semi-final 1, Matthias Novak, and he's being faced with a barrage of Australians, Tim Anderson, Lucien Delfour, Mark Crosby. So one of those surely, well, mathematically, unequivocally will go through. Novak the favourite, but 3 Australians lining up. Can they block the Czech? And in semi-final 2, Krejci from Czechia, the second fastest in the time trial, takes on Rudolfa, also from Czech, Merle Long from Australia, and Ivan Kozlov, who's surviving through the rounds for the AIN. So Czechs en masse. There's 3 Czechs, 1, 2, 3 Czechs left in the competition, and 4 Australians. Well, here we go. Semi-final number 1 in the men's kayak cross. Penrith 2026 Open. Semi-final 1 in the red, it's Matthias Novak from Czechia. In the green from Australia, Tim Anderson. In the blue, Lucien Delfour. And in the yellow, Mark Crosby. 3 Australians and a Czech. And they're off. Novak powers his way into the lead. No doubt about his speed. Tim Anderson tucks in neatly behind. And then it's Crosby and Delfour bringing up the rear. What's going to happen here? So red goes right, green goes left. Bit of a decoy. The red gets away. Now Delfour's got a chance. Or has he? It's Tim Anderson in the green ahead of Delfour in the blue. So Anderson with Delfour hot on his heels. One of those two looking to go through and join Novak, Matthias Novak. And it is Tim Anderson who goes to the left. Delfour goes to the right. If Delfour pulls it off quickly, he can get some speed up, and he does. Delfour comes flying through into the finish, but Anderson holds off. It's a photo finish. I think Delfour. It looked like one had it, and then the other. What a finish there for Anderson and Delfour. One of them goes through. Australia doesn't mind. We like you both. But they will join Matthias Novak, no doubt about the winner of semi-final 1, as we turn now to semi-final 2. 2 Czechs, an Australian and an independent. And in the lineup we have from Czechia, Jakub Krejci, joined by his teammate and countryman, Martin Rudolfer. So Jakub Krejci, Martin Rudolfer, and from Australia, Merle Long in the blue, and in the yellow on the far side, Ivan Kozlov. Krejci, Rudolfer, Long, Kozlov. Who will join Novak and Novak and Delfour or Anderson. We'll get the photo finish out there. Krejci in red from start to finish. If he wins this and gets to the final, he'll meet Novak, who was the fastest in the time trial, who will adopt the red bib. But for now, he's just thinking of getting out in front of his countryman, Rudolfer. And then they've got to be ready to face the might of Merle Long, who's a fighter. Long tucking into third at this stage. Out in front, it is Krejci, no surprises there, and Rudolfer checks 1 and 2. They all go to the right-hand side. Merle Long in the blue gets away, so Long into second position. Stroke of luck perhaps for him. Rudolfer in green made the choice to hunt down Krejci, but he is hot on the heels of Merle Long. Long in second, needs to hold on. Krejci is going well. Long speeding as best he can. Can he get out? He does. Long is in. Good work on that turn. Critical movement from Merle Long to hold on to second position. Jakub Krejci for Czechia, Merle Long for Australia. 1 and 2. They will join Matthias Novak and Lucien Delfour or Tim Anderson.
Wow.
Nod. So it will be Matthias Novak, Lucien Delfour, Jakub Krejci, and Merle Long.
The fault's a type accident. If you refresh it, it should be good.
Next, the women's final, women's kayak cross final. Australia, Great Britain, and Czechia. And in the men's final, 2 Czechs and 2 Australians. So whichever way you cut it, Czechs are on the podium. for Naomi Fox, Kim Woods, Teresa Neblova and Katrina Bekova. Men's final at 12:25. We are on for the final of the Women's Kayak Cross here at the 2026 Penrith Open. In red on the near side for Australia, Naomi Fox. In green for Great Britain, Kimberly Woods. In blue for Czechia, Teresa Neblova. And on the outside in yellow for Czechia, also Katrina Bekova. So Australia, Great Britain and Czechia in this women's final. And it's a fast final. Neblova, the fastest in the individual time trial, followed by Fox, then Woods, and Bekova was sixth fastest. So plenty of speed off the mark from this field. And away they go. In the white boat on the near side, wearing the red, it's Naomi Fox in a tussle with Kim Woods. Fox gets through ahead of Woods. Then the blue is Neblova. And the race is on. 3 boats go to the right. And the fight is there, and it is on the left-hand side. It's Bekova from Czechia out in front. She had a clean run at it. Then it's the blue, it's Neblova, and then Fox in the red. And in a fight there with Kim Woods, that's difficult back at the field to see what's happened, but out in front, and it's Woods who comes through into third. So it is Bekova for Czechia, followed by Neblova, 1 and 2, Kim Woods in third, and Fox in trouble in 4th position for Australia. So that first upstream, 3 boats, what a tussle. And on the left-hand side of the course, it was Bekova who had a clean run. She came out in front. Neblova won the fight into second, and Woods and Fox in a tussle on the downstreams, and Woods got the 3rd spot through onto the podium. So Bekova, Neblova, Woods. And one more race to go. So Czechs 1 and 2, followed by Great Britain, and then Australia in the women's final. And an opportunity for the Czechs to do the double in the men's final with 2 athletes in the lineup. Matthias Novak, Jakub Krejci, the fastest 2 out of the time trials, and then it's Merle Long and Lucien Delfour mounting the Australian challenge. Following this final, men's final, we will move to the presentations over by the cafe. So please join us there. Meanwhile, let's introduce the athletes. Wearing the red bib from Czechia, Matthias Novak. He's taking the inside lane. And on his right and our left, as we look at it, wearing the green, also from Czechia, Jakub Krejci. 2 Czech powerhouses, but Australia's got its own powerhouse in the blue bib, that is Merle Long. And on the far side, wearing the yellow, protecting himself with the full face helmet, is the omnipresent Lucien Delfour, second yesterday in the men's kayak final. So 2 Australians and 2 Czechs. Over to you, gentlemen, to play the script. It's not a sport you'd describe as gentlemanly, but we do observe certain etiquette and rules. But there's a bit of rough and tumble, and we like it. So Novak was the fastest in the time trial, followed by Krejci. Long was 7th, Delfour was 9th. So Czechs Away they go, fast off the start. Krejci does well. He squeezes ahead of Long on the far side. And Lucien Delfour flying through out of nowhere into the lead. What a good line there from Delfour. Settles for second and then goes to the right-hand side. And so it's Long against Delfour. And Long comes out. So Long and Delfour, 1 and 2, the two Czechs, getting themselves into all sorts of trouble. And it is Novak who wins the Battle of Prague. And in the lead, it is Merle Long, and second, hanging on to second, Lucien Delfour, hot on the heels. What are they going to do? Is Delfour going to take second, or is he going to go for the win? And Long gets away quickly. That's a good move. So Australia 1 and 2, and Czechia settles for third. So great paddling from the two Australians. I think Long just held on. Things happen towards the finish line. So what an exciting final. Great start from Delfour on the outside, stayed out of trouble, used his speed and power to get himself into that strong position. But hard to see what actually happened through to the finish line, because it looked like Long had it in the bag, but Delfour came back at him. So we're about to lose the feed. We're waiting for a result across the line. You go and ask them who won, because it wasn't apparent. So the photo finish between Merle Long, Lucien Delfour. There you go. Technology all the way through to the finish. The decider. So that's twice Delfour has come from behind towards the finish line. Did he get there? A nose or not? So we'll wait and bring you that. And yeah.